Yeah, I was a good boss. Well, I've dug ditches and cleaned grease traps and all that shit too. I know it sucks.
Yeah.
I always said if I ever got to be the boss, I'd be a good one.
Okay. Is everybody
See,
ready?
I'm an asshole with a heart of gold.
Kellie, are you ready?
Sorry, I had to take my teeth out.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. You did say Invisalign, not veneers, right?
Right, my dentures.
Right.
How did you just start?
Yeah, it is kind of like I've seen her take my girlfriend's out, and it is kind of gross to watch them take it out.
Yeah, I didn't want
it is. Yeah.
And so I
put other stuff in her mouth, and that's fine. But just watching her take those out is really gross.
Okay.
And on that note,
boom shakalaka.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.
And we are back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you caught the last of our pre-chatter,
I just want to get back into that, to be honest. I just did a new joke about my girlfriend last night. I did an arts garage down in Delray, and I took her with me, and I said, she's always wanted me to put her in the act. And I was like, I'll do a joke about you, fine. If you don't know, she's 29, and I'm 40. But I have to date women in their 20s. Because like a 38-year-old woman looks at me and goes, nah. But like a 27-year-old looks at me and goes, I can fix him. That is not going to happen. It's longer. I just didn't want to take up too much time. But it played pretty well.
Never mind. I was going to say something. Never mind.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rudy.
And we're back with another episode.
I was say about your hair, but I didn't.
Another episode of the Worst Ones podcast. Terry led devotion this morning. And here we are. Right. We're now into the meat of the service. My name is Rudy Wilson. I am a PK. Got Janessa Rowland here. She's a PK. Kellie Lee, PK. Terry Wayne, PK. How is everyone doing today? Terry, let's start with you. You came in hot.
Yeah, I took a nap today, so I'm feeling a little spunky.
Okay.
Whenever I get some extra rest, I tend to come in hot. Getting back out on the comedy scene more and more. That's good. That's getting me. It's got my dander up. Booking a tour for October, November, and December. So,
gotcha.
Starts tomorrow, actually.
So you do pretty well with daytime naps, because like usually if I take a nap during the day, I'm pretty shitty for the rest of the day because I get drowsy. Like it's almost kind of like too much sleep.
How old are you?
I'm about to be 32.
Okay, in about 10 years, let me know. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need that extra rest, baby.
Yeah. But
then all of this starts to fall apart, like completely.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
I ain't hating.
It changes faster than Kellie's hair. Like,
what is your obsession with my hair today?
I'm just obsessed with you, girl. You know what I mean.
Okay. Well, on that note, Kellie, how are you?
I have a girlfriend, but we're open-minded. It's fine.
So I'm doing well. Can't complain. Like I said earlier, I think we were recording. I'm 0.2 pounds from losing 50. By the time this airs, I would have lost 50 pounds.
Okay.
Boom shakalaka.
By the time this airs. No,
don't be like the Fast Money round in Family Feud, like they have 199 points and they think that last answer gonna give them the 200 and it be 0.
And it's 0. Oh, that's don't even invoke that. That's a terrible thing.
Don't come back the same way. Like you didn't necessarily gain weight, but you just didn't lose.
Right, I'm gonna get the same point too.
Oh, don't do that, Rudy. That's like blue balls. You almost got there, but didn't. Like don't.
A whole week from now, I'm gonna be sad. Right. But no, I mean, really can't complain. Things are going well. I think, like I said, my birthday, of course, was 2 weeks ago, and I've been on the high since then. So I'm good. Gotcha. I'm good. Enjoying 34.
34 is working out well, huh?
It is.
You know, I don't blame you. My mid-30s were probably the best time of my life.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm embracing it. Mm-hmm.
I think you should be appreciated.
Is 34 mid, or is that still early? What is mid? It's mid is mid. 30 is 4, 5, and 6 probably.
Yeah,
I think
probably 3, 4.
I would say like 31, 32, 33 is your early 30s, and then 34, 35, 36 is mid, and then and then it's your late 30s. Yeah,
I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Seems fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Janessa, how art thou?
Thou art sleepy, but here. This is the week off in between semesters, so I'm cherishing all this downtime before it picks back up on Monday.
Gotcha.
But that's it.
What are you doing during this downtime?
Sleeping, my 9 to 5, my real job.
What is that? The Ghetto Garden?
No,
I feel you, girl.
The Ghetto Garden has kind of turned to the ghetto graveyard.
Gentrified.
Not the ghetto graveyard.
The ghetto graveyard. So I still technically have one watermelon still growing, but everything else that I have tossed it in the back. I mean, I just got so busy with life that I just didn't have the time to do it. So, I mean, they were already dying. Maybe there's a few plants in the back that there is in my raised bed. Whatever's in there, I just, if it rains, it gets water. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
It's up to God, huh?
Yeah, it's above me now.
It's a terrible idea.
It's above me now.
If God don't do it,
I think the basil and the strawberry plant,
that's like
it's up to God
you
now.
You can't just leave things like that.
So
like an old joke I used to do. You know those old bumper stickers that said Jesus is my co-pilot or God is my co-pilot? You remember seeing those?
Sure.
Yeah, there's a very popular bumper sticker that Christians used to put on their car that says God is my co-pilot. I'm like, he created the universe. Maybe he could be the pilot. Maybe you could step off to the side.
Oh, yeah.
This is true.
That is very true. Very true.
Well, he's just the co-pilot. What else does he have to do to work his way up to be top dog?
That's true indeed.
But he also invented water cans so that you can properly, water your vegetation.
Terry in his nap today.
Right.
I know. I'm
locked and loaded. Running for everybody.
It's bad news. Terry is manic today.
Right. I said, I paid Terry to take a shot at everybody in the first 12 minutes.
Not even.
Yeah, gracious.
Coming in hot.
We need to keep you up during the day on Wednesdays.
You can keep me up, I'm sure.
Oh, God.
All right, let's call your girlfriend.
Pray for me.
So I am doing well. Just got back not only to Jacksonville, but even the state of Florida.
How was Atlanta last night?
It was good.
You guys didn't get together?
He was at a 9 o'clock comedy show, 45 hour minutes away.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was in Atlanta, Stone Mountain, even more specifically.
Oh, Stone Mountain.
For 24 hours. And I just got back probably maybe an hour ago at this point.
If I had one wish, I would wish to have some dynamite to take to Stone Mountain with me.
To blow it up?
Why do you want to blow it up?
Yeah, it's the biggest racist monument in America.
And that's
yes, but I don't think you can just go and blow it up.
I'm gonna blow it up.
That's not how it works here. Have you been to Stone Mountain?
I hope the ATF is listening to this, along with our 500 million listeners.
Terry, have you been to Stone Mountain before?
Many times, yeah.
Oh, okay, just want to make sure you know how you gonna get up there.
How am I gonna? Don't you worry about it. I'm gonna get up there with skill and ingenuity. That's what. That's right.
All right.
Well, speaking in killing in the name of Jesus,
that's not killing anything but rocks, okay? And the memory of Confederate.
If you blow up that rock, a lot of people will be hurt. It's pretty much in the center of a lot of neighborhoods. I'm sure somebody will get some shrapnel or something and bust through the window.
Why you gotta ruin my dreams? Why you gotta be a dream killer?
That's what I do. But go for it though. You can go ahead and introduce the topic for today. This is how
is killing in the name of God a sin?
Yes.
Is it though?
Yes.
Because some religions, say it's a sin. Other religions say you get 72 virgins.
If you kill in the name of God, you get 72 virgins?
Yeah, that's Islam.
Oh, you mean like sacrificing yourself?
Yeah, like, every time one of these guys kills themselves blowing up the infidel, they're supposed to go to heaven and get 72 virgins.
virgins. Like women who've not had sex. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like Louis C.K.'s point on that, by the way. If you've never heard that bit, it's hilarious. He's like, where do those women come from? Like, does God have to kill 72 nice girls, or does he make them from scratch?
You've just been throwing punchlines out all night.
That was
right? That's not even mine. That's Louis C.K. But yeah, no, there are even Christians. We had what's it called? The Crusades, where basically in the name of Elohim, the Christian God, we went into Eastern countries and forced people to change their religion or kill people because they wouldn't.
Didn't the Ten Commandments say thou should not kill?
It does, but apparently that doesn't always count.
Technically,
David killed Goliath.
Technically, that scripture says, because it says thou shalt not commit murder. And I think depending on the situation, murder is different from self-defense. Or
well, I don't think it's self-defense if you go to war with somebody.
And then, well, it depends. So I was looking and I was doing a little research.
Okay, come on, research.
And
get it.
I thought it was interesting. One of the things I was reading was talking about how God killed people in the Bible, or how people killed in the name, like God told such and such to wipe out this, everybody, children, women, don't
stab your son. Yeah.
Like scorch the land type of situations. And so I didn't do too deep of a dive. Even with Pharaoh and Moses, Moses by God told Pharaoh to let the people go, and he was like, nah. And then God killed every firstborn child. Or not every, wasn't it?
Which was messed up. It wasn't even their fault,
So, I mean, it wasn't every firstborn child, because I think if you put the blood of like a lamb on your door and a cross, then the spirit of death passed over your house. But when I don't know, like my arms are too small to box with God. So if God says, if he's killing folks, like who am I to argue with God? But when it comes to like us,
well, think about Noah. How many people did Noah kill by not letting him on the boat?
But was he obeying God? Didn't God only tell him to let certain people on?
So it's like, so he didn't murder anybody. It's more like conspiracy to commit murder.
I'm just gonna go with he was listening to God.
I just think he just wasn't a part of the killing that God was doing. I don't know if he necessarily was like an accessory to the crime. He wasn't like, yo, I'll build the boat, you slaughter these niggas, and then I'll pick you up later. You know what I'm saying?
I think it would be like manslaughter by neglect.
I'm saying
it would be what do they call it? It would be manslaughter by neglect.
It wouldn't be any of that. It wouldn't be any of that for Moses, because Moses was just out here being a good boy. And God was like, yo, I'm about to destroy the earth. So to protect you and my, animals or whatever else, this is what you do. He's not coming up with the plan. You know what I'm saying? Now, he could have easily been disobedient.
People tried to get on the boat. He was like, nah.
Did it say that in the Bible, or are you looking off of a movie?
No.
He did what?
I'm looking off of a movie.
I'm saying, did the Bible say like Noah was he was kicking people off the edge as they were trying to hang on?
Noah was not a good dude. Okay. Noah was also a drunk, and he tried to molest his own daughters. Like,
where is that?
That was in the Russell Crowe version of Noah.
No, it was not.
Where is it? Genesis what?
Where's it at, Terry? You got to pull up scripture.
Cite
your sources.
Hang on.
You got to have receipts.
I don't know it by heart. Hang on. I just remember reading it.
Noah molests daughter.
While drunk.
No, I said tried to.
While drunk and kicking people off the boat.
Exactly. While drunk. Yes.
I'm saying the scripture need to say all of that.
Oh, I'm like defects. I'm like, they had defects back there.
And then came and got no kids off the boat. No, we need them. We need them off the boat. They're not there. They're not riding today.
You have to be clear.
Right. No, sir.
Yeah, you gonna have to find that one for me.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Right. I'm saying, not coming up.
But I still, even with that, let's say when you win or if or you don't find it or whatever, I still don't think that doesn't that per se answer the question posed. I don't know, but I don't think that Noah was in a position of committing or agreeing to or being an accessory to murder, as opposed to the same thing. If God for whatever told one of y'all like, hey, the rest of the world gonna die from this COVID, but I just need you to, go eat a leaf off this tree and you'll make it to the next round. You can't do it. You can't do anything to stop these people from dying. You know what I'm saying? All you can do is just do what's gonna stop you from dying, which is what he did. He could, because if he would have just not did it, he just would have died too. It's not like it was him or them. Like I keep all of them if you die by yourself. Right? It was just like, I'm destroying this. So that's like once again, is that considered killing in God's name?
No, I think there's a difference. So there's a difference in. So I think I've heard three different things today. So in Noah's situation, God did the killing. Noah just followed instructions to put his family, two of each animal, on the ark, and then like you said, Rudy. What happens beyond that? I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I just did what I was told. I didn't, what happened? They flooded or whatever. I didn't, I didn't make the water come and flood. So that's one thing. I think another thing is the Lord doing the killing. And so when the Lord does the killing, I'm not killing in God's name. That is the Lord. That is God doing the killing himself
in his own name.
So you're basically making the argument that Noah was just following orders.
Yes.
Okay. That's the same defense that the Nazis had at the Nuremberg trials.
We're talking about Noah.
Right. And once again, Nazis killed people. Noah didn't kill anybody. That's the whole point that we're making.
Oh,
Noah,
no, Nazis didn't kill people.
Whatever. Noah didn't either, is the point I'm making. Okay, whoever you want to compare it to, Noah didn't do any killing. All he did was be obedient to what God told him to do, which was build this ark.
You're right. Noah didn't kill anybody. The same way if I have a baby and don't feed it, technically I didn't kill it. I just didn't say it.
That's killing it, because you're not feeding it if a baby needs nutrition.
And he's not letting them on the boat.
He's not keeping anybody off the boat. He built the boat and put on who God told him to put on.
Right.
It had nothing. It had nothing to do with, hey, you're gonna die, so you got to stay. You're not on the live list. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that. He built the boat.
You said, I'm just learning from Russell Crowe movies.
Yeah, because you still haven't.
Which I've never seen. I am aware of it.
You still haven't showed terrible. But where's the scripture about the molestation?
Actually, and you're right. I had it mistaken. He didn't try and molest his daughters. What he used to do was he would get drunk and lay around naked in front of his family.
Where's the scripture? Is still the point.
I mean,
Genesis 9:20.
Read it.
Genesis 9:20 through 9:23.
Okay.
Read it.
Yeah.
Read it.
Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and laid uncovered. The father of Cana saw his father naked and told his two brothers, Shem and Japheth, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then they would cover him up.
And this made him a murderer? Or what did this make him?
No, he's a murderer because he didn't let anybody on the boat.
He is not a murderer.
Because he got drunk and got naked. He's a murderer.
No, I didn't say that. He's a murderer because he didn't let anybody on the boat.
But you thought he was molesting people because he was naked when he got drunk.
Well, actually, I got it confused with Lot. Lot's daughters used to get him drunk and try and take advantage of him. There's a lot of stories in the Bible. It's easy to get them mixed up.
Which is why we have to make you prove what the hell you be talking about. Because you just
be
spurting stuff. You just be spurting.
No, it's fine.
I don't think Noah is a murderer. I think Noah followed directions and the Lord did what he needed to do.
So what's an example? So what about David and Goliath? That is a person who actually committed murder or killed somebody.
So many people that have committed murder. Are you kidding?
Well, I didn't say that, Terry, but I'm saying right now we're arguing about somebody who didn't. We're talking about somebody who built the boat, but somebody who physically killed somebody and gets rewarded for killing this person.
Samson killed a lot of people.
Okay, but who you want to talk about then, Terry? Because apparently, I'm talking about David right now.
There's so much murder.
Here's the thing
in the Bible.
Here's the thing. I feel like I feel like some people will murder in the name of Jesus or in the name of God, but are they really murdering in the name of God, or are they murdering in this is what I feel like the Lord would want me to do because they don't feel or believe the same thing that I feel or believe? That's different than the Lord in biblical times telling David to kill the Goliath or, Samson or whatever the situation is. That's different. I think in modern days, most people who are killing because this is what I feel like the Lord wants me to do. Jesus ain't told you nothing. And I think that's with a whole lot of things. People always want to talk about the Lord told me to stay with this man. After the Lord ain't tell you nothing, you want to stay with this man. The Lord ain't tell these people to kill somebody. They wanted to kill him for whatever reason. So we always think about, I don't know why this scenario always comes up in like school shootings, that if somebody would come and, and then pull a gun to your head and say, and I guess it happened in a school shooting once, do you believe in the Lord? Or do you believe in Jesus? And if you say yes, they'll shoot you. If they say no, then they won't, or, whichever way it went. That's them acting on their own accord. The Lord didn't tell them anything. And so I think
mental illness, you never know. They might actually be hearing
the Lord.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do it.
They may have heard a voice. they didn't hear the Lord's voice, they may have heard a voice.
Wow.
I'm with you.
I'm just saying, if you're schizophrenic, God might actually be talking to you.
You may have heard a voice.
They may have think it's the
right.
Lord,
That you may
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't have any.
No.
You don't have any choice at that point.
But they still. But what happens to them? They still go where? To the mental institution, to jail, to the psych ward.
That's usually to the graveyard, but whatever.
Right. or that. Right. Or that. So I think there's two different times. Like when we can see clearly that the Lord has told David to kill Goliath, it's different than, oh, Rudy is a sinner, you know, he's made mistakes, you know, he says he doesn't believe in the Lord, and so because he doesn't believe in God, I'm gonna kill Rudy. The Lord didn't tell me that. I just did.
Well, that's why I brought up Samson, because Samson literally asked when he lost his strength after Delilah cut his hair. He literally asked God for the strength to kill his enemies, and God gave it to him, and he killed his enemies.
And God gave it to him. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say God gave it to him, and why did God give it to him?
So how is that not killing in the name of God?
He would, well, first of all, the Bible does say, well, never mind. But before what caused Samson to lose his strength? The girls cut his hair.
Yeah, when she cut his hair. Well, a lot of people say it's a metaphor for his hubris. Like he thought he was indestructible. And that's when he lost his strength, was because he let his guard down. So
I feel like when I hear that story and hear, you know, God giving him his strength, I feel like God is giving him and endorsing him to a certain extent to avenge what was done to him first. So it's not like he just went and asked God, give me the strength so I can kill these folks, like as if nothing had happened to him. Something had serious, you know, for Samson, because the Bible talks extensively about his whole, you know, his strength and his hair and his life and everything like that. So it seems to me that something serious in God's eyes happened to Samson, that God gave Samson the power, the strength, the endorsement to avenge what happened to him. It was not him just acting on his own will in nothing, out of the blue.
What about all the people he killed before he lost his strength?
Was it because God told him to do it?
No, I don't think so.
You don't know, Terry. You got to look.
I think he just killed 40. I think he killed 40 men with a donkey's jawbone. But
you can't. But for what though? You don't know the reason. You're just saying I think he did it
because it's a holy war. They were fighting each other based on God.
But you need to come here with that context. You can't just say I think this is what happened and then oh my bad, I got that confused with Lot. That's what happens when you're just saying that you just think.
Okay, all right. Look, just because I'm not infallible doesn't mean I'm always wrong.
I didn't say you're always wrong, but I'm saying to help prove your point, you can say, hey, this is where he did this with the jawbone, and so we can say, oh, okay, because you're trying to make a point with I think, which is more of a, you know, your thoughts more than it is factual. So, I mean, I don't know if we can really answer this question with, you know, just say situation that we think happened in the Bible. That's why I asked specifically about David and Goliath, because I do know that is a death that I would consider happened in God's name. And he gets praised for killing Goliath. It's even used now like, yo, if you're small and facing a big situation, you can David and Goliath this situation because God will give you the power to, I guess, slaughter your enemy, which makes it seem like death is okay or like killing somebody is okay. But that's if, I guess, God gave you the okay to do so.
I disagree. I think that killing people is wrong. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm not saying that killing people is wrong.
I'm saying based off of the David and Goliath story, it would suggest that killing is okay as long as God gives you the okay to do so, is what I'm saying. Because this is a person who gets praised for killing somebody, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I know. But maybe, you know, maybe if we could have just like, you know, sat down and negotiated it, everybody still be alive.
Negotiated what?
A terms of a ceasefire. Is that again, just like Samson, that was during, it was a war, and like all wars back then, it was based on religion, which God is better, and live and let live. That's my take on it.
I think even if the wars were whose God is better, at least for Christians, the end of the day, we feel like God's word is law. So I think ultimately, like the judgment about death, murder, killing, whatever, I'm sure, when we all go on that great day, we'll figure it out. But until then, I'm going to stick with, like, if it was truly a word from the Lord, I'm not the one to argue with God. And that's my stance.
And I'm saying, but also, and this may be just Old Testament, but God was definitely killing himself. He was definitely doing some killing himself, and more than just, a spiritual death, because, they talk about with Adam and Eve, if you eat from this tree, you'll surely die. But it's at least taught to us that God was referring to, because they would enter into sin, that puts them in, just say, the death category. Now, it didn't make them physically just say, their souls leave the earth, but we were talking about death in that aspect. But in other aspects, God has literally, killed people, whether it was during the time of, like you mentioned before, Janessa, with the, when people were putting the blood over the door, where there were people who didn't have blood over the door who was getting killed, there was people in, Sodom and Gomorrah who got killed. There was people in a lot of different situations who God took out. Now, did he change his mind over time because of Jesus and all the other stuff? I'll leave it up for debate. But definitely God has killed, according to the Bible. There's people who have killed in the name of God, or as a result of God, telling them to, or helping them win this battle, or whatever the case may be. So there's definitely been just say deaths at the hand of a man that seem to have been signed off by God.
Absolutely. And
does that still exist today, to Kelly's point? Because I know you kind of mentioned in Bible days and today. I don't know if that luxury, for lack of a better term, still exists now. Like, is God really telling people, like, hey, this is an enemy, slaughter them, what I'm saying? Or we have to be more or less peaceful and nonviolent. And
I got your verse too, so I'm not completely full of shit here. It's Judges 15:14. The Philistines came shouting to meet Samson, and the Spirit of the Lord rushed on him. And the ropes on his arms became like flax that has caught fire, and his bonds melted off of his hands. And then he found a fresh jawbone of a donkey, reached down and took it and killed 1,000 men.
So what was the first scripture you read?
Sounds like God did that.
Well, no, he did it, but God signed off on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but that's to my point earlier. That's what I'm saying. But I feel like that's a thing in the Bible. Like people.
Yeah, but why would God need to kill people? Like, couldn't he just be God?
I don't know.
I can't answer that question, but I will say the difference I feel like between Samson and David and modern day killings in the name of the Lord is David killed Goliath with what, like a slingshot?
A semi-automatic slingshot, yeah.
Samson, in the movies, in the biblical children's thing that you saw, Samson killed the people with his strength by pushing down the pillars and the walls.
Yeah, that was at the end of his life when he was caught. And,
okay, yeah. I don't know how did he kill people beforehand?
With a donkey's jawbone.
Oh, okay.
Is probably the most famous. He killed 1,000 men with a donkey's jawbone. He beat them to death until they were dead.
But he had
so that was right after the strength of the Lord came upon him.
Said that's some type of supernatural strength. Like that's not something he could have done without the Lord, without the Lord's strength, without the Lord giving him the strength. Same thing with David. Like David probably wouldn't have been able to kill Goliath without his strength, without his power helping him. So I feel like those are clear instances where the Lord, like it was clearly in the midst there, versus me going to get a gun and shooting someone in the head in the name of Jesus.
Right.
Well, that'll teach her to break up with me. Yeah.
You said what?
Nothing.
So I think those, you know, like I said, so you can see the Lord. I hate this, y'all. You can see the Lord in the midst of the killing. Now, you know, killing is a sin, killing is wrong. You know, in my modern day life, 2021, you know, that's not what we do. The Bible says, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not kill. That's not what we do. But in biblical times, we're talking about something different, and we can truly see the Lord's power in the midst of these killings. Samson, David would not have been able to do it alone. Even if you talk about, which I disagree with, but even to your point about Noah, Noah would not have been able to kill all the rest of the people and the animals, you know, in the world by himself. Like that was the Lord. So there's clear instances where there is the Lord is in the presence. The Lord is in the midst of it all. Versus now, that's not the case.
I think the bigger question for me is like, why is that though? Like, why was God just signing off back in the day, but now?
Yeah, shouldn't there be like an asterisk next to that commandment that says, "Thou shalt not kill unless I say it's cool," kind of a thing?
No, because people go just like they misinterpret every other scripture. They're gonna misinterpret that too. The Lord told me. No, it cannot be an asterisk. It cannot be a disclaimer. It can no.
Well, it kind of has to be though, because all these things we're talking about came after that.
But those were in the Bible. What we're doing now is not in the Bible.
That's true. That's what next week's topic is, by the way.
Oh, what's that?
Because I feel like God could clear up all these misunderstandings with like a 5-minute press conference. So why doesn't God speak anymore? He used to talk to people all the time.
Not a 5-minute press conference. Now that would be something.
Yeah,
that would be something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all stop messing around? You know,
I would love that actually.
Yeah, I would love it too, because he'd probably say like, "What have you done to this planet I made for you? It's ruined.
Right.
Would y'all take care of it, please?"
Right. I would love that.
Like if you let somebody stay in your house and then you come back and they've destroyed it, wouldn't you be pissed?
For sure. For sure. That's a
good I wouldn't be if I already knew what was going to happen when I left.
True.
I feel like that's what
current conversation that we have.
Right.
I feel like when we make it to Mars, that's the first thing we're going to find is like a cave with an inscription on the inside of it saying we should have taken better care of the planet. You know, like.
Yeah. I mean, but back to the topic, as far as is killing in God's name a sin. Once again, I think it's kind of hard to answer that question because right now, all of our answers kind of make it seem like we have to answer it depending on when you were alive. You know what I'm saying? Because to our knowledge, God isn't necessarily co-signing murders anymore. You know what I'm saying? But it appears that at one point in time he did, unless we're missing something in.
No, he definitely did.
You know, in this whole scenario, and if that is the case, then maybe it is a sin now, maybe it wasn't back then. I don't know, but I think the biggest question for me is why are things, I guess, that different? Because I mean, things are going to change over time, sure, and laws even change over time, but it's I guess it's kind of like the principles of God you would assume, or at least are told, stay the same. But that would be a big principle to change. Like at one point in time, I was like, get him. You know, and maybe I don't know, maybe it's because of Jesus, you know, and that's why he sent Jesus so that that whole situation can be, you know, destroyed. I don't really have the answer. But that's my biggest question to God, if you listen. Why?
What are you talking about? Why do you keep saying this like it doesn't happen in the Bible all the time? Like
I'm
God
talking about now.
loved. God
I'm
used
talking
to
about,
love
I'm talking about
murder.
now. I'm not
He
talking
loved
about in
it.
the Bible. I'm not. I'm clearly stating that it happens in the Bible. I'm not acting.
I know,
like
but you're like, well, what if it did happen? No, it did.
I said it doesn't happen now. I'm not disputing the fact that it didn't happen in the Bible. I'm just saying I don't understand why it would be allowed back then and not now. That's the point that I'm making. I'm not saying that it didn't happen.
Because he doesn't talk anymore. That's why I said 5-minute press conference.
Well, he don't talk to
We
you.
can knock all these problems out.
He don't talk to you. He talked to me, but he ain't never told me to kill nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. He ain't never told me to kill nobody, and not that I have a desire to, but you know, I've never been in a situation like, just say, a David Goliath or anybody Samson situation. I ain't even been in a situation in a hood where somebody, you know, me and somebody was in a shootout. You know what I'm saying?
You said God talks to you?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yes.
Okay. Don't tell that to a medical professional. That have you locked up.
The Lord speaks to me too.
Sarah, what are you talking about here?
He must hate me then. I don't know. He didn't talk to me.
No, you just have too many things already in your head. Like, if God tried to talk to you right now, even at that press conference, you wouldn't believe shit he said. You like, nah, I ain't buying that.
That's
I
not
am made in his image.
Right. You asked for the press conference, but still don't care what he did.
Right.
He knows. He knows what he did.
Yeah.
What did he do? He make me while he was hungover or something? Why?
No. He made you for this podcast.
Right. Oh, all right. Well, that's good. It's nice to have a purpose.
Because these are valid questions. This is a valid question. Yeah. It's not like it's a bad question, but I have right now, I'm stuck with two different answers, which is based off of yes, if you were alive in Bible times, no, now. Because that's what it appears to be, but I don't know the overall answer from the time life started, if it's considered a sin or not. Or what?
Yeah, but I mean, when you think about the mentality of it, it kind of like it's like Abraham and Isaac. You know, like why would he tell Abraham to kill his own son?
Right,
and
but he
then
also
stop him.
Right, but he also
didn't stop him at the last second. But he's like, well, I didn't want you to kill him. That's
what I'm saying. But him not going through with it. Him not going through with it proves a different point to me. That shows, okay,
he did go through with it. The angel stopped his hand as the dagger was going towards his son's chest.
Did Abraham kill Isaac? Yes or no?
No, the angel stopped.
Yes or no? Did he kill Isaac? Is my question.
No.
Okay, so
he was gonna.
So the point that I'm making is the fact that it did not happen shows that God was not co-signing a death, because if he was co-signing a death, he would have said kill him and he would have allowed it to happen. But because he didn't allow it to happen, he was proving something else. But there are situations like David and Goliath. That's
horrifying.
There's other situations like David and Goliath where God did co-sign the death that actually took place is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about somebody who was instructed and then God changed whatever you're trying to say. The people who actually did and God co-signed that. That's who my concern comes for, is in reference to what was unique about that time, that situation, versus now. That right now, like, God tells me to do a lot of things to be obedient about, but it's more or less, you know, move here or don't do that or quit this job or whatever. But I've never been in an obedient situation of here's your enemy, you know, draw blood. I've never had that.
But yeah, here's a better question. If God did tell you to kill people, would you do it?
Yes.
Definitely don't tell medical professionals that one.
Well, I don't talk to medical professionals. I don't talk to medical professionals apparently as much as you, because you know what to say and not to say to these people. I'm talking to the podcast and whoever's hearing. I'm saying, like, if
I don't
God
have to go to space to know it's cold, my man.
If God was still co-signing deaths, that I don't think I would be the only person. If I'm the only person around here killing people and saying God told me to do it, it's probably something wrong with that. But that's not the case in the
probably
Bible.
something wrong with you. You're schizophrenic, I think.
Right, but Terry, you're missing the point. The point is in the
I'm
Bible
sorry.
that there were people who weren't schizophrenic who were getting deliberate instructions, who had relationship with God, who were apparently allowed to kill, and that's the whole point.
Like James Bond, license to kill.
Okay, you're really bombing today. Okay, so you stop with your jokes. Okay, just stick to the point that we're going with. Okay, it was allowed. Now it's not. Do you have an answer for why that is?
Because God doesn't talk anymore.
To you.
To me, yeah. Well,
correct.
Apparently not to a lot of people. I mean, I don't want to feel alone here, but.
Or he maybe is talking to you, but you're just not listening.
Maybe that's what it is. Because
you're too busy trying to repeat Louis C.K. and crack James Bond jokes and
James.
You know what I'm saying, but there's definitely because I'm trying to speak to the validity of this question, but I do think that there is a bigger question that I continue to repeat, which is why is it that separation? Because it is a sin now, and you can go to jail now and all this other type of stuff, but wasn't nobody searching for David when he killed Goliath? Not to put him in prison or to say he did something wrong or anything. It was he's the hero. And this was after he done murked somebody. What I'm saying is we don't do that now. You know what I'm saying? Even in Christianity now, you're looked at wrong if you even got into a fist fight, let alone killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? So like to me,
unless they're Muslim.
Right now it's a sin, but what if it wasn't such a sin back then and it is such a sin now for the 1,000th time? I don't know why.
We still do it today. I don't know what you keep talking about like this. Like to think that the war in Afghanistan was anything more than a holy war is crazy.
But that has nothing to do with. I'm talking about, but the proof that God actually said it. I'm not talking about somebody doing something because that's what they said. God said. I'm saying the proof that God actually said it, and then it happens. I don't know that to be true. If the war in Afghanistan actually, if that's the way it happened, I don't know that it happened that way, so I can't really speak facts to that. But I'm not aware of factual things that occurred in the Bible don't seem to be taking place now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even Jesus' death
maybe they do
was allowed by God. Jesus' death was co-signed by God. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's his own son. So
but maybe they do. Maybe they do happen now, and you're just not aware of it.
Right? Could be. It could be. I don't know.
There's actually a really great Matthew McConaughey movie called Frailty that actually delves into this particular subject. Like, what would you do if God came to you and charged you with, as they say in the movie, destroying demons, which means killing people? Would you do it? Could you do it? Should you do it? Are you just mentally ill, or is this real? Because that's the thing about the mentally ill. They don't know they're mentally ill. It's real to them.
Correct.
But there's somebody else who knows that they're mentally ill.
Right.
Who's that?
The medical professionals who knows, as you keep bringing them up. The medical.
Okay, well, if I went to a psychiatrist and told her that God's talking to me, she'd put me on lithium.
I disagree.
Okay.
To say that God is talking to you and to say that
I'm hearing
I killed 15 people just now because God told me to, that's two different statements.
Right.
The second one, I can understand why somebody would want to put you on medicine. The first one, that's not far-fetched for somebody to say, I feel like God spoke to me and told me to take this job. That's
and it's
not
more than just one thing. So when you talk about diagnoses for mental illness, you're talking about more than just one situation. There's multiple things that have led to the diagnosis, not just because I said the Lord speaks to me. Any person who has any knowledge of religion knows that, the Lord speaking to them is a part of that, and so I don't know if they would automatically diagnose you with, a mental health disorder. But if you come and say, like Rudy said, I killed 15 people, or, I'm hearing other voices that are telling me to do this or that, or I see things that look like this, and there's a a combination of combination of things that are being expressed, then we're talking about mental health, mental illness. But if we're just because I see a therapist, we talked about that, and I'm sure if I said to my therapist, the Lord, and I probably have just in talking, like, the Lord said to me, just because I just say that in just general conversation, and she's never batted an eye or thought that I had some type of mental illness other than the stuff I already have.
I may have been joking. That's fine.
You weren't joking,
right? Right. So, but yes, if somebody went and said to Rudy's point, I killed 15 people because the Lord told me to.
Yeah.
It's
you know what happens when you accept that as a reality? Oh, God told me to, so it's okay for me to do it. You get 2 planes into the World Trade Center. That's what you get.
And so to your question.
What do you mean how? Dude, what do you mean how? They believed that that's what their God wanted. There are other gods,
Right, but I'm saying, but you that doesn't. Well, go ahead with your statement, Kellie.
If you make it acceptable, you got to remember.
I'll respond to you. I'm gonna let. I know Kellie has something.
I wouldn't go ahead because you're probably gonna say what I'm gonna say more.
Well, probably not. But I guess to make a plain statement to say that, when you start hearing statements like God told me to do something, that's how you get 9/11. That's that's speaking too broadly. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, people believe in different gods, but we do know, and they are very clear that they're not talking about the same God that we're discussing in this conversation. The same God that told them to run the planes into the building is not the same God that told David to kill Goliath. Now
they don't believe in your God,
but none of them.
Same way you don't believe in theirs,
right? But I'm saying, but that has nothing to do with saying that if somebody says they hear from God, the next result is planes into a building, because there's plenty of people, including myself, who have done things simply because God said so, including me being here physically in Jacksonville. And you ain't never heard anything close about a plane going into a building or anything like that about my life. So I'm saying to say that people can't hear from God because that's going to make them crazy or psychiatric or whatever the case may be, that's a far-fetched statement, is what I'm saying.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that happens every time, obviously. I'm saying that we as a society, we as a species can only walk as slow as our slowest person. So that means that's like saying that everyone who's Islamic is a terrorist. That's not true, but there are fringe. It's like saying everybody that's Christian is a racist. No, but there's a big pocket of it. And just like with Islam, not everybody's a terrorist, but there is room for that because we made room for that.
I agree, but that's not what you said. You said that when you start making statements like, I hear God told me this, that's how you get 2 planes in the Twin Towers.
No, I said when you start accepting that as being valid, is like, it's okay that I kill people because God told me to. That's how you get, because they thought they were doing the right thing when obviously they were not.
I got you. And once again, going back to the whole, is it allowed to, was killing allowed in the Bible days and it's not now? And if so, why? We don't have the answer to that. But people definitely can do things based off of God told me this or God told me that, and it does not result into just say something bad happening. So that is an acceptable answer, but that's just like people have went to church and had a great experience, and some people went to church and got molested. Doesn't mean that anytime you go to church, what happened to one person is going to happen to the next, or just because one person.
No, but again, you have to make boundaries. You have to make rules, and you have to make boundaries. We kill people in this country legally today, and not only that, we bring in preachers and priests to talk to them before we kill them. Let's just put it this way: murder, killing another human being, is always bad. For whatever reason,
even in self-defense. So if somebody attacks you,
I'm going to go out on a limb here.
So if somebody attacks you, and they're trying to take your life, but you end up taking theirs,
I would probably feel very guilt-ridden and very bad for a long time.
I'm not asking how you would feel. I'm asking, is that bad?
Is it a sin?
Yes. Yeah, that is bad.
So
because is there another? Are you talking about like a Friday the 13th Jason situation where
attacks your life and you killed them instead of them taking yours? That's what I'm asking. Right. It doesn't matter what the situation is. If somebody attacks your life,
you didn't hear what I was saying. What I'm saying is this is an unstoppable force that I have to kill, or can I just shoot him in the kneecaps and be done?
If somebody is trying to take your life and you take theirs instead, is it a sin?
I probably wouldn't.
Or
I probably wouldn't take their life.
I'm saying a person, anybody, doesn't have to be you. I'm saying the person that's in that situation. If they kill somebody who in self-defense who was trying to kill them, not somebody who they did something bad to, just some robber trying to attack them, trying to take their life, whatever the case may be, and they end up killing them instead. Is that bad? Is that a sin?
I don't know. Ask Trayvon Martin.
That didn't happen. What are you talking about?
Well, that's what they said.
All right.
I saw a guy get shot at the bottom of my building. A 68-year-old obese man got murdered by a 26-year-old kid in good health, in great shape. And he said that he was doing it out of self-defense, and the cops let him go. So self-defense, that's not really a great.
I'm not asking. You're trying to take different signals and say, well, just because somebody says self-defense doesn't mean self-defense.
You're saying I never said wrong. That.
Yes. I never said just because somebody claims self-defense, it means self-defense. I'm not saying just because somebody claimed they got raped, they got raped. I'm not saying what somebody claimed. I'm saying in this scenario, there is a person whose life has been under attack. And in response to their life being under attack, they end up killing the attacker.
Right.
That's all we need to know. Is that a sin or not?
Well, I'll go back to the 10 Commandments. Did you kill somebody?
Yeah.
Then it's a sin.
But so did David.
Yeah. And he should beg forgiveness, and you should as well.
I think, and I get, and that's a hard question because one part of me says the same thing Terry says. In the 10 Commandments, it says, thou shalt not kill. So
murder.
Pretty clear.
Commit murder. Okay. So our
murder definition of murder, though.
Okay.
I'm asking.
Taking another human's life.
But no, it's not just that. The definition I saw was, hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Unlawful killing.
Unlawful killing without justification or valid.
Nah. You're basically justifying everything. You're saying that if you take out a gun and you shoot somebody, you're a murderer. But if you put on a uniform first, you're a soldier. Get the fuck out of here.
No,
you killed another person. It's murder.
Right, but if it's unlawful, but that's what I'm saying. But if somebody,
there is no lawful murder.
If I'm walking,
murder is just bad all the way around.
If you're talking about morals, yeah, of course, I wouldn't want to murder anybody, nor would I want anybody to get murdered. But
have you ever watched someone die?
Yeah, what does that have to do with murder, though?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm trying to get to a point here. You ever watch someone die? I used to be an EMT. I've watched people die before. It's scary. It's scary.
Nobody
shit.
said it wasn't scary. What are you talking about?
Look, if you take another human's life, you're a murderer. That's it. Maybe God will forgive you. Maybe he won't. But there's no justifiable reason.
But I'm saying, there was reasons justified in the Bible. That's the whole point that I'm making. To make that argument right now in 2021, sure, because there is no Bible time stuff going on. There is no David and Goliath. There's no Samson. There's no all these other things. But there was a time they even talk about wars back then. This person was a great warrior, and they killed this many people in war and all this type of stuff. So
yeah,
that
was bad too.
But I'm saying, that was allowed and co-signed by God in different, and not every death in the Bible, but I'm saying a lot of situations were. None of those, at least to our knowledge, exist now, which is why it seems even worse now. But to say that something is a sin, I would imagine had to be a sin back then, or maybe sins changed over time. Something that wasn't a sin back then is now a sin now.
Right, they did change. That's why we have the Old Testament and the New Testament.
I don't think that's
yeah,
why.
it is absolutely
Sins
true.
change.
Well, like for instance, in the Old Testament, before Christ gave his life to forgive all the world's sins, everyone automatically went to hell all the time.
But that don't mean that what's considered a sin changed, is what I'm saying. Just for the forgiveness is now there. It doesn't mean that sins changed.
Okay. They did though.
I'm saying I'm not. If they did, that point that you just made doesn't prove it, because Jesus coming had nothing to do with changing sins. It has something to do with the forgiveness.
This is why I keep asking, like a 5-minute press conference. We could clear all this up. Why can't we just do that?
But you just got a definition of murder and didn't want to accept it. So I don't think you would take Jesus's answer.
No, that's my definition of murder is taking another human's life. Yeah, there's no justifiable reason to kill anybody.
I disagree with that, but I wonder if can you sin? This may not make sense. So in a literal sense, so in the King James Version, I know Janessa said that it says thou shalt not commit murder, but in the King James Version that I just looked up, it says thou shalt not kill.
Yeah, it's translations.
Yeah, it's the translation thing.
Right. So thou shalt not kill. So it's to Rudy's scenario of I'm being attacked in self-defense, I kill, I sinned.
Yeah.
Did I not?
There's no asterisk next to it.
I committed a sin. Now, in the law, in law, in terms of me going to jail, in terms of me, whatever, being prosecuted or whatever, because it's self-defense, right, I may not be charged with a crime. Because it's justifiable, it may not be, I may not have murdered this person. But did I kill this person? Yes. Is it a sin in a very literal sense? Yes. Will the Lord forgive me for it? Yes. Will I, Kellie, feel guilty and feel bad about killing this person, even though I did it to save and protect my own life? Probably. Now I'm gonna do what needs to be done. If it's me against you, we're gonna hope it's me. Now I don't have a gun, so I may be out of luck. But if the Lord gives me David and Samson strength to kill this person, first of all, let me say this.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see you as Samson. That would be awesome.
Because if I'm getting attacked by the 26-year-old man in good health, and I have fought him off and he has died, that is the Lord.
No, it was the opposite way.
Let's be clear.
The young man killed the old man.
That's what I'm saying, right? So if a young man gotcha. But yes, that is the Lord. If I come out the victor against pretty much anybody, that is the Lord, because I'm just as helpless.
I don't believe that for a second.
I've never been in a fight.
I think you can throw those things. That's what I think.
I appreciate it. We just never seen them thrown before. We have no idea.
You gotta believe in yourself.
So I believe in the Lord. So if I get attacked and I come out the victor, then I know that was the Lord. And so I know that in self-defense, in the law, that I may not be charged. I know that I will feel guilty for having to kill someone. But I'm gonna be okay at the end of the day. And I know the Lord's gonna be okay at the end of the day, and He gonna forgive me, and I may have sinned, and we're gonna keep it moving. But I feel like, I guess my question is, so can you sin and not be wrong or not be in the wrong?
Well, I'll tell you what I believe. I believe in John Witherspoon, namely from the movie Friday. All you little punks are too scared these days, too scared to take an ass whooping, ready to pick up a gun. No, just take your ass whooping. That's it. There's no reason to kill anybody, period.
Yeah, so that you can still kill somebody with your bare hands. You don't necessarily need a gun, but because
you need at least a jawbone.
But to your point, or a slingshot and a rock, because to Kellie's point, if I kill somebody, that's God. But did I sin? And yes, but then my question to you, Kellie, is
why couldn't God just kill him?
David sin.
He's God. You can't throw a lightning bolt or something.
So I think it goes back to your whole dilemma of the biblical times versus modern times. So I think it's two different times. There you could clearly see, well, you will be able to clearly see that the Lord helped me kill this person. But
That's what I'm saying.
You know, that's a good one. So maybe, I don't know.
I'm listening to three people defend murder. It's crazy.
No, we're not defending murder.
We're talking about a death that has already happened, and I'm asking, being the fact that it seemed to have been done in God's name, was that a sin? Is that a sin, but still be, like you said?
But here's the thing, too, to your scenario, though, to me, that's not in God's name. Now, when we talk about self-defense, I didn't kill in God's name. I killed with God's help and strength, probably, but I did not kill in God's name. So that would be two different things. Right. Where did David kill in God's name? Yes, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Okay, that David killed in God's name. So that's, that's two different things. God told David, it was very intentional when David got in front of Goliath that he was going to kill him. That was the assignment. That was the plan prior to getting in there. Someone getting attacked is a random, spontaneous situation that I'm going to say that the Lord has gotten me out of, because this is going, because in my Facebook post, in my Instagram post afterwards, because everybody got the post.
Right.
I'm gonna say
nobody's gonna see it. You're private.
I was attacked, and the Lord brought me through. I hate that I had to kill the young man, but it was me and him. But I'm not going to say I did this in God's name. But I will say that the Lord got me through this situation, because we know when, and I'm gonna say as a woman, when women are attacked, it goes a lot of different ways, and sometimes it doesn't come out well for women. So the fact that I'm standing here today to tell you the story means that the Lord has brought me through. And I think that, yes, whatever sin I may have committed, because I may have cursed, or I may have, committed a couple of other sins in the midst of this whole attacking.
Cursing's not a sin.
Okay, fine. Or even the way I chose to cope with it afterwards, or whatever it is, it all may be a sin, but I would never say that it was in God's name. But I would definitely give God the glory where glory is due, that you have got me through this situation. I also would question, Lord, why I have to go through this, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I wouldn't say that was killing in God's name.
Gotcha. I'm clear.
Wow. Right. What if God tells you to get an abortion? What if he's like, oops, I messed that one up. Get rid of that and try again.
Well, if God ever starts a sentence with oops with me, then I'm schizophrenic and I'm hearing another voice.
All right.
If God ever starts something like oops, I got a problem with the rest of anything else that comes out of his mouth.
Excellent response.
Oh, look at that. I redeemed myself.
I got a problem with any other thing that comes out of his mouth.
Did that
Oops,
wrong.
I made the next Hitler. Sorry,
right.
You got to get rid of that. No?
Right. All right, Kellie Lee. Church announcements.
All righty. So when you want to, follow us on Instagram at The Worst Ones PK. As usual, there's a lot of great content there.
You couldn't even say that on the straight.
Laughing. It's a lot of great snippets of some of our past podcasts. Great pictures of us doing life. So come check us out at The Worst Ones PK on Instagram. When you want to listen to us, when you want to hear us, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your podcasts. On those, that's where you can hear us. If you want to see us as well, YouTube. The Worst Ones PK.
I'm sorry.
A podcast. I'm like, The Worst Ones podcast is what you would type into the search engine to find us. Check us out. And of course, when you get there, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share with others. As always, to the 500 million followers, we thank you. We love you. And message us. Let us know. Ask us questions. We're here for you.
Hey.
My personal Instagram page is at Princess Kales 51. It is
man.
She's a princess.
I am a princess.
Alrighty.
And y'all can follow me at Melanated Brews. We're back. First,
Dunkin' Donuts. Go ahead and tell us.
first post up is this new spot called Radio Coffee.
Okay.
So check us out. Yeah, we're getting back into the swing. Fall's my favorite time of the year. And of course, perfect time for tea, coffee, beer, football, all of that. So
No, because they ruin it all with pumpkin spice.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I wasn't a fan of pumpkin spice. I like Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice donuts. And I like Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice latte. But that's
There's
it.
a reason why we only have pumpkin pie once a year. There's a
I'm
reason.
not a fan of pumpkin.
I don't like to go in the store and get like pumpkin spice creamer and you know.
I'll throw sweet potato pie in there too. It's the same thing.
I don't eat sweet potato pie.
I love sweet potato pie.
I love a good sweet potato pie. Just any old.
It's
regular
okay
potato?
once a year. That's why we only have it once a year.
I'm not a big fan of sweet potato.
If it was any better, it'd be apple pie. You know,
Apple pie is pretty good.
Yeah, I do like
Yes.
apple pie.
everyone does.
Follow my personal page at jrihanna_. We have fun over there on both pages. So that's it.
And you can follow me at JanessaNeedsToTalkMore.com. She barely talked at all this week. Terry Wayne Comedy, all social media platforms. I've got a tour starting tomorrow. Be out throughout the state of Florida for the next 3 months doing different shows. So we'll be posting them all on those social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. I don't do TikTok, so yeah, that's that.
Cool. And the podcast official page, follow that page. The latest episode about the vaccine is up. Very interesting, sometimes funny throughout the topic. Throughout the conversation. So please watch it if you haven't already. And then we'll do another one the last Monday of the month.
Do you have some anti-vaxxers on there that are going to enrage me?
Well, they're not going to do anything to you at this point because the conversation is over. So at this point, you'll just be watching what is already
I know,
happening.
But that will enrage me. So.
Oh, you said that will enrage you. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just have to watch it. It was pretty balanced.
You don't go to a doctor for your transmission, so stop going to mechanics for your medical decisions.
Alrighty. And interested sponsors, if we have anybody else.
Oh, we have one this week. It's Kleenex. Kleenex is our sponsor this week for all your mucus needs.
We just got flagged for this video. Nah. Yeah, Kleenex, shout out. If y'all want to sponsor, we'll take it. It's getting cold. Niggas gonna be sniffing soon.
Right.
Find it at the dollar store. It's,
what dollar store?
bargain.
Did you hear that Dollar Tree is going to sell stuff for more than $1?
Oh,
What
wow. I'll never go back. What's wrong with them? That was the whole purpose.
Do you know that dollar stores sell steaks? Do you know that?
No.
Yeah.
No, they do.
They sell dollar
Those
steaks.
must be no.
No, they
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
I
they do.
would
They're
feed that to my
frozen
dog,
dollar
and I don't even
steaks.
have dogs.
That's definitely
You might say no, but I figured out a good use for them. You
that's
take
definitely
those, put 'em-
killing, not in God's name.
if you take those dollar steaks and buy 5 of them and stick them in a meat grinder, you can make the best burgers ever.
Yeah, I'm not buying dollar steak.
Mm-hmm.
If a store can make a profit off of a dollar steak, that steak ain't shit.
I pass.
Yeah,
You're right. That's why I make burgers out of them.
yeah, I wouldn't even.
I pass on that too.
Oh, I'm sure McDonald's is so much better.
That's why I don't eat those either.
Yeah, it's also not. It's like $1 and some change. It's already more expensive.
The
than
dollar
that steak.
store steaks, you know where those end up?
Like it's one little package.
Right.
Not the 3
You know
burgers.
where the
you
dollar
gonna
store
make.
steaks end up? They end up at Checkers. That's where they end up. Yeah.
I don't eat there either.
Yeah, Checkers.
Me neither. I wouldn't eat at Checkers.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up.
Those are not sponsors, huh?
Right.
Eating at Checkers is definitely a sin against God and man.
So Checkers definitely won't sponsor us.
Right.
No, I don't want them. To be honest.
Anyways, we appreciate you guys for listening to us as always, each and every Tuesday, or whatever day you listen, but the new episodes drop on Tuesday. And that's it from us. Until next time, we out.
Top of the world. Top of the world.